And it's crazy you selfish and I'm self-centered.
Alright, go live and tell
I must
make the video, tell him I don't help you.
I must be the most selfless person when it comes to you. He ain't taking my baby though. He pulled the car up. Where are you bringing my son?
To mind his business.
Look, he's crying. He doesn't want to go with you.
Pretty sure damn sure he don't want to be here with you.
Okay. Great dad.
You're such a great mother.
Update, he has packed all his things and is attempting to take my baby with him. He said he's leaving me. I don't know, guys. What the f*** did I do? My husband's about to leave me. And I don't think he's playing. What the f***?
I really would like to know what's wrong with men nowadays. Like, I don't want to be one of those girls that are like bashing men or anything, but I really be thinking that millennial men were dropped as children, weren't loved enough, because why are they like this? Men are becoming more like women and women are becoming more like men, and it's really sad. Women, we don't have a choice because men want to be princesses. So I promised myself I wasn't gonna go on any more dates. However, I went on a date. Obviously, I had a really bad failed date last time I went, and I said I'm never gonna date. However, I thought I had a genuine connection with someone. We went on this date. Okay, it didn't work out. We didn't disrespect each other. You know, he's not my type because he wants to be one of those men that want to go 50-50. I'm not going for that. I do so much for myself. I don't have to go for that. You want to call me a gold digger? Go ahead. However, why would you hit up my best friend and try?
So you're mad because you said it didn't work out between you guys and he went on to your friend? I mean, it's always a man's fault. These women never hold themselves accountable.
Went on a date, and this is not anything crazy. I did the normal thing, went on the date, debriefed my friend afterwards, right? Had to call the bestie, had to tell her everything, and she literally said this thing, and it made me giggle. I came out of the date, I was like, it went really well, and I was like, I'm so frustrated, and she goes, you are frustrated because you have always been known to have chaos, and your frustration is due to the lack of chaos. Yeah, I know, but sometimes I like a chaotic man.
They want to make their lives a movie, and men do not want to be bothered with that foolishness.
I remember I asked just like 10 out of 10, like what she do for work, and she almost looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. I was like, don't you gotta work during the day? She was like, what? I was like, you know what? I don't even know why I asked that. I immediately changed the subject. And that had me so dead. Yeah, so I'm not going to be asking that anymore.
Men who are dating or have dated recently, what is the biggest hurdle today in dating? What is the biggest problem you come across when you're dating a woman or trying to date a woman? What makes dating hard today?
Argumentative women. Ben says social media. Darth Didymus says social media. Another dude, Taylor, cheating in social media. Wisco Johan, they have backups on social media. Think you get the point.
You see a good-looking man and then he turns and you see his dangly ass earring? Never mind.
A dude in the comments said, but Michael Jordan and Barry Bonds can wear that earring and women have no problem with it. Wear what you want, kings.
So nowadays you don't even see that many guys in gyms anymore. I go to the gym and it's like girl, 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 girl. And I'm not looking for them. I mean, not always. You know, there's some papas out there. But that's crazy.
Man, do you guys just be talking just to talk?
I hate gym dates as first dates. I want you to plan a date, take me to dinner, and pay for it. It's not really about the money. It's just about being intentional and like showing that you care and putting effort in. And having a gym date as a first date is just kind of like, oh, like let's just like show up here, I guess, and like talk for a little bit.
Sometimes I wonder if the girlies really hear themselves when they talk. The entire premise of a first date is to show up and get to know each other. That's it. Anything else, any money they spend or gifts they buy you, is out of the kindness of their own hearts, not out of obligation to you. Talking about you want him to show intentionality. This is a stranger you met on a dating app. His only intention is to get to know you. Now, there were other reasons in this video why she didn't like this man or this date, which I think are valid, but this take, Ladies, it's 2025. Men do not have to drop a bag on the first date to get to know you. And if he does, and you want to exchange your time for his money, let's be so real. You should probably go clock in on someone's street corner. Why aren't all male gyms a thing?
It's because men are typically not threatened by the presence of women in the gym. And also, women, although they outnumber men in this country, are still considered a minority group. And as such, there are certain liberties that are warranted, allowed, what's the proper word? Y'all help me out. For minority groups to create safe spaces for said group. So, i.e., women gyms, because some women are uncomfortable working out or being in spaces with men while they're training. But the funny thing about that is, with years and years of experience in this industry, and over 95% of my clients being female, the most judgmental people and the people that talk about women the most in gyms are other women.
Okay, I'm driving to work having a thought. Last night, my gym crush was at the gym again, which is great, fine, right, whatever. I've always noticed him and I'm like, ooh, gym crush, yay. It is good motivation, to tell you the truth. But this man is always there. Like, I don't go at a set time. I go all different times, early morning, evening, all different times. I'm a working mother. Both my kids go sometimes and I have to work around their schedule. There's just no way to go at a set time. I have a preferred time, but I never make it to my preferred time. But this guy is there every time I go. I mean, there's been, in the last 2 years, probably a handful of times that he's not there when I'm there. Does he not have a job? Do I have a crush on an unemployed man? Then again, he paid for his membership, right? So he's got to work, right? Right? Like, there's no way I'm crushing on a guy that doesn't have a job. Right?
You ever think that remote work might be a thing? You ever think that him running his own business might be a thing?
You have that provide and protect energy that oozes throughout you, and not just the energy, but the energy combined with the ability, and most of that comes from being financially stable. The marketplace just widens for you. Okay. So is this loneliness epidemic happening a lot among men who don't have those things in order? Yeah, that's true. If you're overweight, if you're lazy, if you're sitting at home playing video games or spending a $5, $10, $100 here and there at OF like a loser, yes. Is your pool shrinking? Yes, 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 yes.
So what the f*** is a man supposed to do?
I think in general, people should just keep their hands to themselves.
Right, but at that point.
So you're saying, like, if your shorty slaps the dog shit out of you, what is your initial responsibility?
Because obviously, I'm not gonna call you. I'm not gonna call the police. I'm not gonna call.
I'm not saying all that men can do is eat it, because we gonna be bitches.
You just called me a bitch for calling the police.
No, because what I'm gonna say about calling you a bitch, calling the police, you gotta understand strategically, if you go and call the police, like, if we get into it and you're taking your time to go and locate the authorities, you're planning this out and plotting it.
Baby.
No.
Literally, I am trying to not beat the dog because you weigh 95 pounds. I'm going to flip you into a pretzel and destroy you. I don't want to do that. I'm going to call the police so that way they can take care of you and get you out of this.
If you think that they're just gonna get her and take her out of the,
why do men always have to be able to keep calm?
I'm not saying that men have to always be able to keep calm either.
You're not saying show restraint. You're saying show amazing.
We have to be. Hold on. We have to be.
I don't think you should be in a situation like that either. I don't think you should be in a situation like that.
And I gotta call the police, but now I'm because you put your paws on me.
I gotta be the defender of the household, and I gotta defend myself from my own household,
bro.
You know it's so weird for you to sit up here and say, don't call the police. Don't call the police. What? Bro.
What the f y'all do for us to make us men feel like we're being courted? We're a goddamn catch. Right. Oh, damn, girl, you went extra to let me know on this first date or second date or third date. You really like me. You're not gonna let me slip out of your finger grips, you know?
This is exclusive. You're not dating around. Your eyes are on me.
What does the female do for the man to feel that way, to see that?
So I don't know.
Minus give it up.
No. No,
Okay.
that is not
Cool.
ladylike.
You're right. All right, cool. So throw that one out the window. No, I was
You gotta
throwing.
keep them interested first.
So then, what are we getting?
Okay, what you're supposed
What are we getting
to be,
except a foe in our pocket, just hoping that you're the one, because this is burning in my pocket.
All right, so these are interviews, right? I want to try to answer
They
the whole
are.
question
Yes,
at
they
once.
are.
Dates are totally interviews. For the guy, what you're doing is you are, again, in theory, I'm not saying that everyone's going to get married, not everyone's going to have kids. People are not all called to marriage. But let's say that that's the purpose of dating, right? Is to find a husband, wife, whatever.
Life partner.
Correct. So you're basically interviewing, is this person compatible? Can they do for me the things that I expect, want, need, etc.? And then that varies person to person.
All of that sounds great. Now, can we see what you actually do for men? Back to the question, what do you bring to the table?
So, long story short, me and my boyfriend haven't been able to talk as much this week. And so last night, I started my period and I was just like, hey, I know I literally get to see you tomorrow, but I'm just very emotional and in my feelings. Like, I need reassurance, essentially, which is like crazy because we've been dating for 2 years. And he had like kind of reassured me. He reassured me, but then he was like, just quiet. And I was like, what are you thinking about? Like, me freaking out in my head, being like, is he thinking about breaking up with me? And he was like, I'm really scared. We're not gonna have enough people for our soccer game tomorrow. And I was just like, this is men. Me trying to have a serious conversation, ask for reassurance. Him worried about his soccer game tomorrow. Red flag or no?
He did give you reassurance. It's just that he didn't want to sit there and mope around because he had other stuff going on.
This is a perfect example of how petty women are. This post is coming from a video about men who request a DNA test at the birth of their child. Regardless of whether you're married or not, sometimes a DNA test is needed. Actually, 99% of the time, a DNA test could be needed because you never know, even if you are married. But we talk about the pettiness of women, okay? Listen to what she says. She says, oh, he can have his test. He can have his test. But that just means he's going to be a single daddy on the weekends afterwards because I'm not going to tolerate the disrespect. This is the pettiness that we're talking about. Reducing a man to every other weekend status as a father simply because you got called out on? Even if it's not true, even if you never cheated, you're going to reduce him to an every other weekend status simply because of an accusation? You're petty. Extremely petty.
A lot of these women want men to give them all the reassurance in the world and give men nothing. Men are just supposed to go on blind faith.
The thing about the war going on against the chopped man epidemic girl is that she's actually quite beautiful.
I am gonna have to do a longer video on this one. This is the chopped man epidemic girl. Beautiful. Here's another video about it.
Basically, in this video, she is saying that we're going through a chop man epidemic and she saw an attractive guy and it like honestly made her day because that's how rare it is for her to see an attractive man out in public.
And of course, the comments on the chopped man girl video are, you the wrong messenger, always the fours. And the comments on this video are the same one. Is a 3 trying to save a 4, so it's still always the 4s they're now talking about her. If you do not understand this diagram yet, you're not gonna get a better example. All of the women that you can find complaining about the chopped men are in this range. And they don't like the men in their own range. They call them chopped, which means ugly. And they go after these men who will use them for a short time and not commit. And then these women cannot get these men to commit. That's how society breaks down. These women get their hearts broken over and over by trying for men who will never actually like them. These women can't prevent these men from cheating with them because it's just extra women. And then these men get nothing at all and everyone's miserable. That's how society dies. And it is all because of women like this, telling women like this that they are beauty queens who deserve the best. And that's all explained by this diagram. Who is a 10 status games? This everyone is beautiful thing that they do. It is a strategy The ones on the bottom say you're a 10 to the ones in the middle, who say you're a 10 to the ones on the bottom. And even the ones who are actually 10s have to say everyone is beautiful because women don't come out in the open and have direct competition. They play nice for self-protective purposes, and they are collectively negotiating to take a shot at the top men. That's all it is. So this girl does not actually believe that this girl is conventionally beautiful. She's just saying it so that she can also be conventionally beautiful in order to justify rejecting the men on her level and shooting higher. And then nobody gets married and has kids. Here's 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's 30 years later. So we're all gonna die now because the mids get to be mouthy. This is the face of death, of civilization.
Once again, the fact that she can get on here saying something so stupid and then you have people backing her up. What is the world coming to? Guys, just look in the mirror. You like the rest of us. You know what? Shaquana, I got you, girl. I'm gonna go ahead and give your comment a like because she don't want to be held accountable. She don't want to hear nothing that men be saying. Oh, they so weird. They so this and that. Let me show you what Shaquana said. Honestly, I understand where he's coming from because a lot of females look so different without makeup. It's crazy. And it's fair that he wants to see the real you. It's not like it's breaking news. I mean, that's what men want to see. Before you asking to see a man's bank account, y'all be talking about what's your financial position, how much debt do you got, yada, yada, yada. So my God, if a man would say, I would want to see what you look like, you get upset. Well, yeah, not on the first encounter. Why would I want to go on the second encounter if I don't know what you look like? Why would I want to continue paying for stuff if I don't know what you look like? Some of these ladies want a minimum. They want a deposit in one way or another. Take me out on a date. Put down 100, 150 for the meal at least. And then we'll talk about me letting you know how I actually look up under this. You have beautiful hair. Why not just wear that? A lot of men would love that. I don't think you even need eyelash extensions. Yeah, I looked at her page. She's cute. I mean, you're going to find a dude with the way that you look. So you don't have to wear all that stuff. Now, I understand that you want to wear it, but you don't have to wear it. And so when a man is saying, well, can I see? He's not asking you for any pictures, without your clothes. He's just asking if I can see what you actually look like. And a woman brings that to your attention. Honestly, it's not even the fact that he's curious. I just think it was weird to say in the first encounter, given the circumstances. What circumstances? What circumstances are we talking about? And it's telling about what kind of man he is, honestly. Yes, the kind of man that would like to see what he's investing in.
Men, single moms typically come to you as a discount. Now, the reason that I say this is because she got her body back in shape pretty quickly, but she has a child. She knows more of the time that the men that she actually wants are not going to want her because the man that she does want has optionality and more than likely is going to want someone that is childless. So that's why she will put herself and be more available to you because she knows that her optionality has decreased. So she's going to say all the right things and she's going to want to try to lock you down because she knows that having a provider in her life for herself and her kid or kids is beneficial. So she's going to come to you at a discount. So that's what I think. Let me know what you do in the comments.
Because if I decide to get violent, what the fuck is you gonna do? What the fuck is you gonna do? What the fuck is you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I'm a woman or not. I don't give a fuck. You gotta chat because at the end of the day, if I decide to kick your shit in right now, ain't nothing you gonna do to stop it. If you wanna argue with me, you can't do nothing with me. What? What are you taking a bag for, miss? And I swear to God, put your hand on me, I'm gonna drag you on this shit. My mama told me right. I'm telling you right now, I'm a grown ass man.
Hear me and hear me good when I say this. One of the most single dangerous things on the face of the earth is a man in distress. Now, honestly, I can't tell exactly what's going on, but it sounds like his back's against the wall and he ain't got nothing to lose. I don't know what's going on in his life, but he's ready to crash the out. Now, the video is not that clear. You can't really tell what the f*** really going on. You just hear him arguing. Now, I would just tell this young lady, hey, it is in your best interest to not go back and forth with this. There's a part in the video where he says, hey, call anybody, your brother, your uncle, your dad. I'm ready to go. When a nigga is self-destruct in this manner, trust me, it is in your best interest to leave him the f alone. And I know she's trying to stand up to him and say, well, you know what? I don't care that you're a man. Sweetheart, you might not make it home. Let's not do that. And no, I'm not justifying his behavior. I just understand when somebody's in certain distress, whether that be male or female, I know when to walk the f away. This young woman clearly does not know how to read the room. This nigga's in a packed train, ready to pack you up. He don't care how much cameras is out, how much people is there, if there's kids, babies, it don't matter. He's ready. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all going back and forth with. Y'all mouth gonna get y'all in trouble. But you know what? Y'all ain't gonna listen to me anyway. I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
And perhaps this is, kind of like you think, you're thankful that they haven't really experienced anything like this, but they talk like this because they don't truly know a man's strength and how dangerous a man can be, especially when his back is up against the wall. So they keep on talking and running their mouth, and they don't really have any discipline. But a man is supposed to, calm himself down when you're sitting up here talking. I think in the clip before, in part 1, she was hollering and screaming in this man's face. We don't know if that was after a long day. We don't know like he said, we don't know what's going on in that man's life for you to be sitting in his face, just screaming and hollering. I think all she was saying is just like Jesus, but listen, brother, or listen, sis, time and place. She just kept on hollering it over and over again, just hollering it, time and place. Don't nobody want to hear no hollering and screaming, period. No loud playing music after a long day or in the morning. You don't know what they've been going through, what's been happening. A lot of these young ladies act like they don't know what's going on. They act like they can't read body language, nonverbal cues. But when it comes to men, they're supposed to read everything you got going on and act accordingly. But you don't have to.
There's actually nothing more attractive than a man who just does. Like, I love a man. Like, a man that plans, a man that tries. Double text me, I don't care. Like, I hate little games. Like, I truthfully love a manly man who makes me submissive. But, like, it's very rare. Like, where are the men at? A man who just does. Where are you?
If that man's got a double text, why are you not communicating with him? Huh? Exactly. Still playing game.
So the other day I went, outside, and I ended up meeting somebody, while I was out and about. So we ended up going to hang out a little bit more at the casino. So, we're sitting there, we're talking, and, basically he had asked me if my hair was my real hair. Now, granted, I had in my curly hair, I've been wearing them extensions, I've been feeling it, right? So he asked me, was my hair my real hair? So I'm just like, no, it's not my real hair. Mind you, I don't really get too offended when people ask me that, because I'm confident with or without extensions. Like, this is my real hair right now, so when he asked me, at first I wasn't offended, I'm just like, oh no, this isn't my hair, but my regular hair is cool too, So then he had made another comment like, oh, okay, well, so what do you look like, without no makeup on? I want to see what you really look like. I want to see you, you ain't got all that extra stuff on. And I'm not gonna lie, that's annoying. Men, stop doing that. And the reason why I'm gonna say that is because luckily I am somebody that is confident without extensions. I'm confident without wearing makeup. But what about women who aren't? And then why does it even matter? I think that's another thing that's starting to piss me off too. What's wrong with girls being girls? Is it a problem, that women want to put some makeup on? Granted, y'all, I told y'all I met this man outside. So yes, I'm dressed up because I popped out. You know what I'm saying? On a day-to-day basis, am I wearing makeup like this? No. And even if I was, I think it's the point I'm making. It's just what are y'all getting at? And then I also do not like the whole the misconception that because you indulge in one thing, it means that there's a lack thereof. So for example, I don't like people who like say stuff like, oh yeah, like I don't wear makeup because, you know, I've always been naturally beautiful. Like, what are you getting at by that when you say that? Like, are you saying that people who wear makeup are not naturally beautiful? Do you think that I don't think I'm beautiful because I chose to wear makeup today? Or, oh, I've never had to wear weave, like I've always had long hair. What does that mean? Or do you think that everybody that wears wigs or extensions or whatever don't have no hair? Like, what the f y'all be getting at, like, when y'all say stuff like this? Like, I just feel like, to me, it's offensive. I also think that it's performative because, again, it's not even just men that even say stuff like this. Like, I have heard women say stuff like this. Like, and to me, it's shade, low-key. Like, it's shade to me. Because at the end of the day, if y'all knew how to do your own makeup, y'all probably would wear it. So it's just like, y'all tell yourselves whatever to help you sleep better at night. You know, like, oh, I never needed it. But it's just like, a lot of women don't need any of this shit. Like, I'm just doing it because I want to. I don't need to wear makeup. I don't need to wear extensions. Like, nobody needs to do any of this shit. Like, I feel like we're just doing it because we like it. And I just think that it's annoying. And for the women out there who may even feel like they do need that or they hide behind that, nothing is wrong with that. And I feel like the right man of with you with or without this. So it's just like, anybody like off the dribble that's giving me that kind of energy, it kind of be rubbing me wrong. Like, I don't really like stuff like that, like, at all. Because at the end of the day, I'm a real girl's girl. When I say a girl's girl, I mean in the sense of like, I like makeup, I like perfume, I like getting my hair done, I like going shopping and getting dressed up and getting dolled up like that. I am into that 1000%. So if you're a man that feel like that's annoying, or you don't want your girl walking around with all this stuff on her face, like, politely move to the side. Move to the side. Just go and move to the side. And what be cracking me up the most is like, a lot of the that'll say stuff like that be really fake, still be chasing up after bad that do that. So it's just like, now you got this girl at home thinking she can't even get her hair done, go get her a little ponytail, or get her a little sew in. She ain't even doing that, ain't putting no makeup on because she thinks you like them natural just for you to be up at the club in the bases that got makeup on and their hair done. Like, please. So anyway, yeah, that's my rant for today. We have to stop doing that. We have to stop, in a way, putting people down. That shouldn't be cool, for real. Like, it's not cool. So yeah, anyways, yeah, that's my TED Talk for today.
So on the chopped man epidemic, I wanted to articulate some of my thoughts because I found myself rambling in the comment section of well-meaning individuals, when I think my issue actually stems from a deeper problem I have with TikTok itself. Personally, I don't think we live in a chopped man epidemic, and I don't even know how you could prove that beyond the hearsay of like random people online. My random person anecdote is that most men, like most women, look pretty normal, just like they always have. Beyond that, I think that in and of the statement itself of the chopped man epidemic is a statement devoid of nuance, devoid of empathy for the human sensibilities of men. Believe it or not, they do have human aspects to them. And the statement itself is also really devoid in substance. Conventional attractiveness is arguably one of the least circumstantial aspects of a strong romantic relationship, or at least we hope so, right? So I don't know why we're blaming the struggles of male loneliness on being chopped, quote unquote, when we can certainly attest to average-looking folks in happy unions, right? And this video in particular, the one I'm making, isn't to justify the horrid things being said to Stella, I think, the woman who made that original chopped man post. But I also found it fascinating that people, largely women, came to her defense by retorting that she's pretty, which is incredibly irrelevant. And on a side note, I hate when we try to assess the validity of a person's claim by how much of a baddie the speaker happens to be. Moreover, some argue that the chopped man epidemic is a kind of personal failing on men's part. And I think that's something of a straw man, and that there are plenty of so-called chopped men and women who can't help how they're treated by society. By consistently associating appearance with virtue and good lifestyle, we indirectly fuel the systems that hurt women. Because if you think about it, the goal of feminism itself is to escape the unfair standards of attractiveness assigned to both sexes, disproportionately women, but also men. Not to mention the Eurocentric implications of what much of society deems chopped or not. I also want to stress that none of this thoughtful nuance that I'm hearing was presented in the original girl's video. The original poster goes, "We live in a chopped man epidemic," and I get excited on the very rare occasion that I see a hot man now. And yet women are still siding with Stella as if they share her opinions, when in reality they've extrapolated their own interpretation through a positive lens, likely shaped by preconceived internal prejudice against men. And while I can certainly sympathize somewhat with feeling divorced from men's perspectives due to personal hostility, so-called man hatred, I don't understand why it's so hard to grasp that if someone says something oddly blunt and needlessly inflammatory, you shouldn't run defense for them by filling in the gaps with good intentions and your own generous interpretation. If I were to say we live in a chopped woman epidemic, I think it would be fair for people to get upset with me. I don't know why anyone would defend me by saying, oh, well, some women are chopped because they're emotionally ugly and cruel. Like, that's obviously not what I was saying, you know what I mean? They're not like, she's not talking about the physically chopped, only the people with chopped personalities. That's a silly way of excusing my poor language in that instance if I were to make that argument. And unfortunately, this brings me to my key point. This kind of optical stuntedness is encouraged by social media. The design of TikTok, rewarding hooks no matter how insane they are, discouraging long-winded videos like this very one, it's grooming your attention span, fueling echo chambers, and placing profit above all else. And it creates this really stupid landscape where dialogue about somewhat serious topics like the male loneliness epidemic turn into needlessly cruel, unserious blood sport. This is what I was trying to get at.
Well, quite simply put, they really don't like men. They're just making this stuff up. A lot of these women are continuing to make up trends that don't exist and then saying that men are talking about it. They're not. These trends don't exist, but you guys keep on talking about them. Somebody says, man, there's a male lonely epidemic, or they try to say, well, there might be something or there needs to be. And women start jumping on and talk about, yeah, the male loneliness epidemic. Who's saying that? Who is saying that? Who's talking about it? Nobody. Probably heard it on the podcast somewhere one time. And men out here doing what they need to do, working. And if it's not enough that y'all really don't like men, y'all saying, well, y'all lonely because y'all are ugly. And it be some of the women out here that be jumping on and saying, this is a chopped man epidemic. Wrong messenger. Even if it's the right message, even if it were to be the right message, wrong. Wrong messenger. Way wrong. You got a lot of nerve. Y'all talk about men have the audacity. They need to bottle it up and sell it. Some of y'all.
This is a comment that I actually really resonate with. Like, how do you expect us women to live in our feminine if you're not creating that safe space where we don't feel the need to have these careers? Don't want us to have a career because it's too masculine. So do you want us to be like frolicking outside with like no house, no career, no nothing, so you guys can feel masculine? It's like, y'all need to step up and give us women a safe space so then we feel that we can be in our feminine. I'm in my feminine, and I've probably had a handful of men who made me feel safe enough to be in my feminine. It's the place that you guys create for us, and you need to be creating that safe space. And it's like, look at what you guys are doing. Like, you guys are attacking and putting out such negative energy, and then there's that, I feel that need to defend myself, whereas that's not a feminine quality. It's like, look at what you guys are doing to the women, and you're making them that way. But at the same time, how do you guys expect us like to live if we don't have a career? If we are single, in that waiting period, waiting for our person, waiting for God to give us that person? Do you want, like, how do you expect us women to afford a place, especially living in California, where it's so expensive without a career job? You can't afford a place on a minimum wage job unless you're living with a bunch of roommates. So it's like, it's damned if we do, damned if we don't. And like, if men in this dating age, in my dating pool, actually took the time to date a woman, and I'm meaning like date with the intent to marry, and not say all the love bombing that's happening, dating multiple girls, or the cheating that men do, what, I don't know what you expect from us. And maybe I don't want a traditional man. Because those weren't even my words, those were my friends. I told him I wanted a man of God, a guy who leads me closer to God, a guy who lets God be the center of our relationship, someone who I'm equally yoked with. That's what I wanted, and he told me that was a traditional man, and that's why I asked the question. And then y'all came raging at me with pitchforks, like, oh, you're a nurse. That's a red flag. Oh, you become the man you wanted to date. Like, you guys, let's be real here. Let's talk about the place that you guys are making for us. We don't feel safe. And all you guys are saying, no, guys, let's stay single. These women aren't worth it. Why aren't we being chased? You guys, it's not... See how you're wanting us to be masculine. Girls are not supposed to court men. But yet you say we are masculine. Like, pick a side. What do you want us to do? Like, damn. Like, and you guys are like, oh, I hate boss babes. I never once said I was a boss babe. I just said I was a nurse. And then y'all had your knee-jerk responses because of your past experiences that were unfortunate. And I'm so sorry that you experienced that. I truly am. But that's not who I am. Like, you're responding to the person who hurt you under my post. I'm not the person who hurt you. I'm really sorry that someone did hurt you, and I truly, with all my heart, I hope you do find someone who changes your mindset on what it is to love a feminine woman, because you need to create that safe space for her. Because guys are not doing that right now. Why do you think the women are becoming boss babes? It's because they don't feel safe enough for a man to lead. Y'all aren't making it safe for us. So that's my response, you guys. Create a safe space for the woman so we can thrive and are feminine. Thank you.
Men are not going to be giving you anything. You don't want to be in the house. You don't want to be traditional like you're asking for. Where are all the traditional men at? That's what you asked. Where are the traditional men? You don't want a traditional man. You don't. You want some other dynamic, but it's not a traditional man. A dude in the comments said, a traditional feminine woman wouldn't even have your line of thinking. Just find somebody compatible. Exactly. They wouldn't even think like you. They would be trying to have kids and raise a family. Even if they had a job, because there's some women that do, I just want to work. Their priorities are different from yours. And these are the types of women that men are looking for. It doesn't even matter if you're working. Even if you have a job as a nurse, even if you're making bank, at some point in time, a man is going to want children. He's going to want a family. And he's looking for a woman that wants the same thing. That's not a crime. What you want to do, and you want your man to support you, is you want to prioritize, well, this is my career. Close, right underneath my career is my husband, my kids, or vice versa, kids or husband. I mean, it really depends on how you are. And a man that you want, at least, is not going to want to sign up for that. The man in your life is going to come first, because you're going to want him to put you first, right? You're going to want him to put you and the kids up above him, sacrifice every day, work hard, bust his behind. And then at some point in time, maybe if you don't want to continue going to work, you say, you know what? I want to stay home and take care of the kids. You take it. You got it. A lot of ladies want options. I want to work. I don't want to work. I want to have a career and go as far as I want to go. And I want you to support me in that. But if I don't want to do that, I want to stay home, live my life to the fullest without having any cares or any worries, or else I'm going to go back to work. I want everything in my control how I want it, or else I'm not settling. Y'all don't know how to work with people, and with a traditional man that you're asking for, you're going to have a tough time trying to get over on him.
So I've reached that point where I'm very content in all of the other aspects of my life, where like now making an active effort to date again, it just feels like something I don't want to do. Like, I want a partner, I really do. But like, I'm either working or spending time with my friends or my family and like, I don't know, getting things done, going to the gym. Like I have things that I need to do and I'm busy. And then the idea of like making time to possibly spend with a man I don't want to spend it with, to like eventually spend time with a man I do want to spend, like getting there right now. And then like one of them could disrupt my peace and like I could be stressed out by a man right now. Like I just, do I want to mess up what I have going in my life right now? I don't know. But I do want someone to cuddle with, so it's like.
Think about all the lives and the peace you about to mess up, especially with this. Think about all the pockets you about to try to empty with this nonsense and expect them to pay for you.
Subtle but serious red flags that men overlook. This is part 46 of Harsh Sister Advice, where I explain things to men as if they're my brother. And this is day 3 of Red Flag Week. You start dating someone new. It's going really well. Good connection, good energy. You bring her around your friends, introduce her to your family. Everything feels solid. But when you leave, she brings something up. Your mom was really bossy in the kitchen. Or, did you see the way your sister-in-law looked at me? It made me really uncomfortable. But then you brush it off. You justify it. Because everything is going so well, right? Brother, no. If you let it slide now, it will continue and it will grow. She will be in your ear about everything. Everyone. She'll chip away at your closest relationships and the people who actually love you the most. If you're thinking, is that actually a reason to end things? Yes. Easily 100%. That's a red flag. Don't ignore it. Come back for more Harsh Sister Advice.
Unfortunately, it's facts. Some of these ladies, they just keep on going. They don't know when to stop. Be quiet. Save it for later. None of these words are in their vocabulary, and they'll continue to make if they're not doing it now, they're going to start making your life miserable because they don't know when to be happy or grateful about anything.
So you don't think a woman that's unattractive deserves a man that makes over $100,000 a year? Strictly because she's unattractive?
Because if you're unattractive, that means you're unattractive. That means your mental and everything's unattractive.
That's not true.
Yeah. I'm talking about, for example, if a woman looked like you, but they vibrated low, they're unattractive.
But that's not what Kevin Samuels was talking about. He was strictly talking physical.
Was he?
Yes. He said, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't use 7.
Even if we're talking on the physical, no, she doesn't deserve that, because you're now asking for a man who is in the top 10% to settle for just you. Why would a man who has income, who now has options, is what he would say, why would he settle for you who's 5'2", 280 pounds, you got 2 kids, and you talking about you want a man that makes 6 figures or more? That makes no sense. Your SMV, as he would say, marketplace value, is low. What am I getting from choosing you? If that's the case, why don't I get another woman who is 100 pounds less than you and give her my income? The modern women have unrealistic expectations. Their expectations are way out of place when you look at men's expectations. They want men that 6 feet, 6 figures. You got to be good in bed. You got to do all of this stuff. Give me your income. Then why am I choosing you if I'm so perfect? Why would I choose you? That makes no sense. They have unrealistic expectations. And there's so many of them.
You know, some of these modern women, they create a game. And then when men start beating them at their own game, they get upset. Woman in the comments said, oh, you 100,000. Y'all talking like that's $1 million. It don't matter what it is. As far as you're concerned, that's exactly what it is. It's $1 million. It's more money than you have. And you want a man to spend it on you. I want a man that's at least 6 feet, 6 figures, 6 pack. I'm not spending it on you. I see there's a market for you guys. You know, a lot of men are actually, there's a lot of men staying single, but then there's a lot of men saying, oh, so that's the way we playing the game? Because it's what men do. So that's the way we playing it? Let me go ahead and get 2 out of the 3, right? 6 foot, 6 figure. Okay, I'm 6 foot. Let me go ahead and make 6 figures. Let me see what I can do. 6 pack, I can do that. And then I'm playing the game. Because they know how y'all silly minds work. Oh, I'll sleep with him. I ain't going to marry him. I didn't marry him, but I'll sleep with him. That's all I needed. I don't need to be 100%. I don't need to be perfect. I just need 2 out of the 3. And sometimes if I'm really good at it, I just need 1 out of the 3. And a mouthpiece. That's all I need. Y'all are so focused on materialistic stuff. You're going to get God. Oh, I was naive and I didn't know. And these men just, no, you knew. You knew. You're just mad now the next day that somebody got over on you and you didn't like that. I'm thinking about, what's his name? Aziz Ansari or something like that. and sorry or something like that, where lay down with a young lady and the next day she would be like, oh, well, I really didn't want to do that. Oh, okay. All right. So now you want to switch up the rules because the man is beating you at your game. You say, oh, I'm a celebrity. Let's do it. You want to be with a celebrity? I'm a celebrity. Let's get it. And then the next day you want a little bit more out of the celebrity, so you try to change the rules. You felt like you didn't win enough. You want to change the rules? Oh, 100K ain't that much. Okay, sis, it's enough. Now you want to change. You're going to have to at least come with a 350. Shut your stupid behind up. Shut up. Talking nonsense.
There's a double standard in dating and it needs to be talked about. I have seen girls complain about how it is such a turnoff when a guy is following a bunch of models. Trust me, it is such a turnoff when a guy is following a bunch of random IG baddies or when he's leaving flirty comments to so many different girls. Yeah, that is giving F-boy behavior, but if roles were reversed, that same standard should be also applied to women. What is so attractive about a woman following a bunch of F-boys and leaving flirty comments on a bunch of different guys' photos? It's literally the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is you have to practice what you preach. So for example, if you don't want a guy who is in every woman's comments leaving flirty comments, then you should definitely not be following a bunch of guys leaving flirty comments on a bunch of guys' photos.
Thank you, Olga. It is in fact the same thing. But because these modern women don't like accountability and they want what they want to do what they want to do, then they'll continue to say that men are the problem. If a man points this out to them, then they'll say something stupid like, the patriarchy, misogyny. Who built the system? Who did it? Who made it this way? Nobody made it this way. This is what you want it to look like. This is what you want to look at. It don't have nothing to do with a man. You wanted to see this man, and then you want to go over here and say, I don't want this man doing the same thing that I do. What a loser.
What if it is for the male gaze, though? What if Sabrina Carpenter is doing that for the male gaze because she is attracted to men and she wants men to think she's hot and want to flirt? What if that's what she's doing? What then? There are like a bajillion straight women and a bajillion bi women. I'm one of those who regularly sleep with and want to attract men. What if that's what she's doing? Okay, and is it suddenly a crime to want to have and be seen as and viewed in a light? Is it suddenly anti-feminist to be said? Is that what we're going from the revolution to it's anti-feminist to appeal to men at all? Huh. Interesting.
They're trying to use secretly, well, not even secretly, the 4B movement is really all it comes back down to, just by another name. They're trying to use their body to make men submit. But the problem is there's too many women out here that need to get paid. And so therefore you're trying to make men bow down to you with a certain image, and the people that don't go in line with that, then you get upset with them. Like I said, the problem is there's too many OF girls out here and IG models that are doing this type of stuff that need men to pay for them. Now, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying these clubs need to be full. The club and the S club, the SW club, they need to be full. So, I mean, they want these women to hold out, but these women say, you know what? I hear you. I support you doing that, but I still need to get my coins. And Sabrina Carpenter actually wants to be around and appeal to the male gaze. And unfortunately, that doesn't go in line with radical feminism. So therefore, people get upset because she's doing whatever she wants to do and she's actually interacting with men, which makes it harder for them to say it's a male loneliness epidemic. Nobody wants you. It's a chopped man epidemic. You guys are all ugly. I haven't seen a good looking man in 20 years. That's a lie. That's a lie. And you're not cute yourself. And all these other things that are derogatory and terrible about men. But these women who actually be outside and actually live real lives and are actually good people, they don't hear you. They don't hear foolishness. This woman is making her money. Y'all little crew might say you're not going, but she's still gonna have a concert full of women making money. and y'all gonna be stupid in the corner by yourself.
I'm starting to realize that many women only know how to measure a man's worth based off the money that he's bringing in. You know, like, what about the man that's helping the woman to build her dreams up behind the scene? Or even a man that's supporting you behind the scene, helping you to get to the check, even if he's not the one that's cutting it personally. When Remy Ma said that she was tired of giving a man, Niger, her 20% and still having to pay the bills, and now carrying on as if this man did not contribute, as if this man was not, you know, I'm sure somewhat behind the pen, as if this man was not a part of, if not the foundation, as if this man didn't contribute to her career in a large way, is just very startling to me. It's like, ladies, y'all got to understand that a good man is not always just the man that's handing you the money in your hand directly. Sometimes a good man could be the one that's behind the scene, the one that's behind the lyrics, the one that's helping you, giving you the tools to be able to make the money, you know? So there's different ways to be a good person, a good man, to help contribute to things without just necessarily being the one that's handing you the money, or even the one that's personally making the money. I believe that Papoose was helping Remy Ma in many ways that the world just couldn't see. And I'm pretty sure it may not have been 90% of the lyrics that he wrote, but I'm pretty sure with the type of lyricist he is and the type of mindset he has, all he was doing was giving you the words, giving you ideas, and the only thing you had to do was deliver them. So once again, a man does not have to actually make the money to help you make the money. Just because a man's contributions doesn't look like money does not mean they're not valuable, because a man could literally pour into your career, a man can pour into your mindset, a man can pour into your peace of mind, a man can pour into your creativity, and I promise you, those assets are just as valuable and just as real as a man handing you money to pay a bill. All I'm saying is there is many other ways to measure what a good man is outside of finances. I mean, a good man, a good person is just a person that, you know, pours into your vision, a person that covers you emotionally, a person that can lead with loyalty and respect, a person that can give you a sense of direction and structure, you know, a person that protects your name in rooms that you're not even in, a man that has that genuine leadership skills, you know, a man that's just there for you to cover you mentally, physically, your body, respects your boundaries. There is so many other things that makes a man out to be a good man. I don't know Papoose personally, but I feel like he has great, you know, characteristics about himself. At least that's what we learned about him over the years. And if for any reason he's lying and you claim that he did not write 90% of the raps, then why haven't we heard anything from you since? I don't know. I just feel like there are so many traits that we as women need to learn to start not only looking for, but also appreciating in a man, instead of thinking that a man is only valuable if he's financially dominant. That's how many of us miss out on good men, honestly.
They don't know how to ask questions. They really don't know how to vet a man. They're looking at attractiveness first, what he's got, and attractiveness also includes money. If he shows that he has money, well, don't lead with your money. I'm not. Sometimes these men don't be leading with their money. It's just sometimes the way they dressed, the way they present themselves. She might see them from afar doing some sort of dealing with somebody else and get the idea that he has money. I think there was a man, well, he did kind of low-key lead with his money. He was playing the game right. He was playing the game right. He came in there and he said something about, I need to go get my clothes or something like that. I have a pickup at the Louis V store. And so she started giving him the time of day. And then it ended up, he said, hey, I got a friend coming by. She's coming from Dallas. Are you okay with you, me, and her hanging out? You, me, and her hanging out. And she got upset. Oh, I don't get down like that. But you was about to get down with his money. You was about to spend his money. That's what you, oh, I clock it. He's got Louis V. I clock that. That's what you said. They mad because men are catching on. Men don't allow this foolishness anymore. Men don't. Okay, y'all not gonna ask questions. Y'all only gonna look at my height. Y'all only gonna look at my money, my status. Okay, I got it. But even if a man wants to be a good dude and he's not a Chad or a Tyrone, even if he's doing the right thing, y'all don't want him. Y'all want the guy no questions asked, saw a woman on here talk about, oh man, he just gotta present himself in a suit and take me out to dinner, and I'm gonna think that man wants the best for me. And you gonna get railroaded and sent on back to the house talking about men are trash because you decided that a coffee date wasn't good enough. They don't know what they're doing out here. They don't know what they're doing out here.
And it's exactly what I mean when I say, who gonna be the man? It's Memorial Day. I ain't seen not one man on the grill today. I ain't seen y'all pull up, come get the plate. I didn't see not one man on the grill today. But they be quick to light them hookahs up. They be quick to pull up to the club. They be quick to do all this, but they ain't quick to do the stuff that back in the day the men were doing. Grilling. Y'all should have been, everybody should have been on the grill tonight. Kids in the pool, family in the pool. Y'all come over, y'all eat.
Jamal, I gotta agree with you, bro. He said, grilling for who? Y'all ain't marriage material. Y'all too busy online critiquing men, so why would we do anything that would please or benefit you? We'll do whatever we want. Your validation nor approval is sought after anymore. Talk to them. Talk to them, sir.